Hi viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to start my discussion with one of the greatest writer, Oscar Wilde's one of the famous statement: to live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that's all. We have Ted Hughes. He's one of the greatest poem, the Laburnum Top. I'm going to take up for discussion today. Laburnum Top by Ted Hughes, 1930 to 1988. This is the poem Laburnum Top by Ted Hughes. We have a tree here and symbolically I have given the pictures. The first stanza: the laburnum top is silent, not at all making any sound. It seems to be lifeless, quite still, calm. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight. Okay, say the yellow color, even the tree branches and the leaves becoming yellow. Okay, then a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds have fallen. It is said that the laburnum tree has poison seeds. Even here we find that yellow September, the early autumn, where seasonal changes are happening. Sunlight, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds have fallen. Poison seeds have fallen. There is a change happening in the tree. And the color of yellow, even the sunlight, evening, and the leaves, yellow also can be a part of change, along with the poison seeds disappearing. And the tree seems to be transforming itself, okay? And life seems to be very dull, sad, because it is silent and quite still. Tree, it is almost like lifeless, as if there is no life at all. The tree seems to be merely existing, as per our earlier Oscar Wilde's statement. Let's see further. Next stanza we find, till the goldfinch comes. The laburnum tree seems to be very silent, still, till the goldfinch comes. This is the second important paragraph where there seems to be a total change, some sort of life. The goldfinch, the bird, yellow, it seems to be coming and making its nest, as well as the young ones, chicks. So till the goldfinch comes. So there is a total change now. The poet seems to be giving us another part of the story here. What is that? Goldfinch seems to be like a soul, and it gives some sort of entirely a new life for the dead tree. Tree seems to be the body, where the bird seems to be like a soul coming. Naturally, it comes with a twitching chirrup. That chirping, the birds always chirp and it tries to communicate. A suddenness, startlement at a branch end. Suddenness, startlement. Some sort of sudden, there is a change in the life of the laburnum, which seems to be very dull, shedding its leaves. Early autumn, seasonal change, all the poisonous seeds have fallen. Suddenness and startlement. Even in the feelings of the tree, there is some sort of change happens. Looking at that bird and its activity. Branch end. At a branch end, it builds its nest, the bird, goldfinch. Then sleek as a lizard. Birds are very alert by nature, by birth, and sleek as a lizard, and alert and abrupt. So the movements of the bird is being highlighted here. Ted Hughes is, as a poet, is very careful in selection of the important images. Sleek as a lizard, very quick. And the bird is looking at all the predators for the safety sake and the young ones. Alert and abrupt, very quick movements. And then she enters the thickness. Quite often, the mother bird will be looking at the young ones, the safety part, and a machine starts up. Very interesting now. The machine, the new life, the machine in the hearts of the chicks, which seems to be bringing some sort of new life. Even the machine starts up, even in the life of the tree, which seems to be dull, silent, still. There is some sort of new changes are happening. Machine starts up, the machine of life, of chitterings, and a tremor of wings and in thrillings, and a tremor shake of wings. The young ones always, they expect the mother to come and feed, that part, and trillings, the chirping part and all, chattering. So now there is some sort of new life has come. Goldfinch, bird coming and building its nest on the laburnum, which changes suddenness and startlement and the alert and abrupt movements of the bird, building the nest, the young ones, feeding, the role of the mother. All this brings a lot of changes in the laburnum also, and it seems to be from lifeless dead state, it starts to change now and it starts to feel the life. And as a tree, it seems to be very much happy. God has given the tree an opportunity to bring new life into this world. That part is being highlighted. Moving further, we find in the next part of the stanza, the whole tree trembles and thrills. It is the engine of her family. Very interesting now. So the bird also seems to be mother bird. The whole tree trembles and thrills along with the tremor of wings of the young ones. The engine of her family. It can be the tree laburnum as well as the goldfinch bird. She strokes it full, then flirt out to a branch end. She strokes it full. As a mother looking after the baby, young ones, she strokes it full. Mother is very careful in rearing the young ones. Then flirt out to a branch end, showing her barred face identity mask. So, the mother bird taking care of that process is being highlighted here, Ted Hughes. And he is making sure that along with the mother bird taking care of the young ones as a lizard, alert and abrupt, and always enters the thickness and at a branch end, startled, and it is observing the young ones, okay, showing her barred face identity, and the mother bird making sure that the engine of her family, the young ones, are fully alive, and she feeds. She strokes it full. Then from a branch end corner, she will be observing the nest and the young ones. And in all these moments, we can understand that even the tree seems to be alive, which seems to be dead earlier in the first stanza. Still, silent. Now, along with the bird and the young ones, even the tree seems to be alive, full of life. That part is being highlighted here. Coming to the last stanza, the poem, we can find the mother bird, goldfinch, making the young ones to be, more and more alert, alive. Then finally, the last stage where, the young ones grow up and the time for departure comes now. Then with eerie, delicate whistle, chirrup whisperings, she launches away. She, goldfinch. So this is the last stage of how, the bird all of a sudden appearing on the laburnum tree, making its nest, the young ones, and that process of life, that machine starts, the engine starts of the young ones, and then process of growth. There is some sort of transformation is there, not only in the appearance of the tree, as well as the feelings of the tree, as well as the goldfinch and the young ones, the mother, finally. Then with eerie, delicate, eerie means some sort of fearful, strange. This is the part which the poet is making us as a reader to understand, that eerie, which is something fearful. That means even if we wish, we can't avoid. It is a process of change which is natural. Fearful. What is that? Delicate whistle, chirrup whisperings. So these are all the bird, the mother as well as the young ones making, and the tremor which the tree laburnum seems to be very much happy with. It is associating itself. Being a tree, God has given an opportunity to the tree to make this goldfinch to build its nest and the young ones, that part. So tree also feels very much happy associating with that. She launches away. She, the goldfinch, as it appeared, it disappears towards the infinite, unknown, towards the infinite. That means it's a part where change happens. Okay. So which the laburnum tree also can't avoid. Finally, like in the first stanza, which is silent, almost dead, and the laburnum subsides to empty. Completely once again now, as soon as goldfinch along with its young ones, it disappears into the infinite, the tree becomes once again like in the first stanza, totally silent, inactive, and the poet starts feeling whether it is living or dead. Even the winter time, the leaves seems to be, the tree seems to be shedding the leaves, and the process of change happened, and unable to digest the fact that goldfinch has disappeared along with the young ones, the tree seems to be once again becoming submissive and totally silent, lifeless again, as it is in the first stanza. Finally, to compile a few thoughts of Ted Hughes' Laburnum Top, I am here. The Laburnum Top, the entire poem is nothing but a symbol of life and its fluctuations, according to you. Life, where a tree becomes the body and the goldfinch bird becomes the soul. Where a tree shelters the bird's nest, and tree is a part of the bird, the young ones and the feeding part, and the young ones growing and shedding, the spreading the wings and flying, that part. Symbol of life and fluctuations we can understand, and it is very practical also. It is the concept of machine, the engine, the life, the young ones growing up, that process, mother feeding, the young ones growing up, spreading the wings. It is the machines. Okay, from birth, the process of growth can be highlighted here. And life, it is almost like the tree seems to be exchanging this thought, feeling of accepting life, that part. Earlier it was very much dull, inactive. Once the bird, till the goldfinch appears, there is some sort of transformation in the laburnum, which we need to analyze as a student, and we need to understand. That means in our life we need to be understanding the importance of life. It is not just existing, we need to live our life. That is more important. That's what the poet is highlighting here. And the concept of sustenance, here see mother helping the chicks to grow up. The concept of sustenance is very important. So it is very contemporary, even today, so meaningful. The 20th century greatest poet Ted Hughes, Laburnum top, seems to be so meaningful because of the sustenance. We need to accept our life and we need to live it consciously. Like laburnum top, consciously accepting the goldfinch birds and that process of growth as its own. That concept we need to analyze, the sustenance part. Further, the tree becomes the body. Earlier it was very dull, sad, almost dead, and once a goldfinch appears, till goldfinch appears, tree seems to be dead. But once goldfinch appears, its nest and the process of the machine, the young ones growing up, it becomes the soul of the tree, laburnum. And the laburnum, there is a lot of change. It seems to be very joyful, happy. Further, the entire poem gives us a theme of the beauty of nature and the vigor and existence of our everyday living. We need to involve ourselves, we need to accept it, we need to imbibe all those values of life, and that sustenance helps us to live, and that is more important. Then also the poem gives us a positive vibe. Positive vibe is accepting life, and the sustenance part we need to analyze and we need to accept it. We have to live it. That is being highlighted. And in the laburnum we can find a dead tree which has almost shedding the leaves and the winter part, and it has lost its vibrance, the vigor part. Suddenly looking at goldfinch, existence, the concept of accepting life and happiness comes, awakens. So the dead tree is being awakened by the bird, goldfinch, and the machine, the life part, the young ones, helps the laburnum to change its attitude. Like that, we need to accept life and we need to change ourselves. The concept of transformation should happen. That is life. Then the same thing Ted Hughes tells, it is almost like the man's attitude. We need to change that. We need to accept our life, and that makes our life so meaningful and really important. Now what is that? The attitude of our human beings, we need to change our attitude. We need to analyze why, what is the purpose of our life here. Then like laburnum tree, accepting life along with the changes of the goldfinch, building the nest and moving with that sustenance part, we also should accept, and then definitely our life becomes really meaningful, is being highlighted. And some of the changes we need to analyze, like the laburnum tree shedding the leaves, and then poisonous seeds, and getting ready for the winter part. So our life is also full of those changes, and the poem also highlights that, like a parent helping a child to grow up. We cannot be so too much possessive. We should allow the child to grow up and make, like the goldfinch bird, after sustenance, one day it will move, leave the tree, which is its body. Though like that concept can be highlighted. A parent becomes a body where the children will be the soul, and a parent has to accommodate the children to make, give them the purpose, or make them to understand, realize their perception of life. And the body, the parent has to become the body, like the tree, laburnum, understanding the sustenance as well as the concept of existence, transformation and accepting the changes. And that is the positive vibe, and that is where acceptance of our life makes really our everyday living really meaningful. And that is the reason Ted Hughes' poem seems to be very contemporary, so meaningful. Consider to like and subscribe. Thank you.